Hi everyone and welcome back to National League Lowdown with me, Dan. As you can see, we've got a full house again tonight. So I'm joined by Craig. How are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, very well, thank you, mate. Looking forward to going a little bit more in depth on our predictions this week, which I'm sure will open up the can of worms to some a bit more abuse as well.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't have it on any other way really.
Absolutely.
And talking of abuse, we'll go to Mark. Mark's the one getting the fun sponge thrown at him at the moment. How are you, mate? You okay?
Yes, aloha, everybody. Yes, it's your resident fun sponge here. Yes, we'll go more in depth. Of course, we'll have a look at the FA Cup as well. And I'm just going to do this as well to a rather special viewer. Have a look at the YouTube comments, folks, and the explanation will be there, but have another one.
Yeah, like Mark says, we're going to do a bit more in depth with the preview of the upcoming weekend games in the National League, and then we're going to have a look at the FA Cup games and do whether there's going to be a shock or no shock, like we have done in previous episodes. Louis, how are you, mate? You okay?
Not too good, mate. I've come down a bit of fever, FA Cup fever.
Oh, you cheesy man! You cheesy man!
Wow.
Oh, dearie me. That was like a truckload of camembert, that my friend. It was that cheesy.
Yeah, see you, Craig. Bye.
Oh, Craig's off. That's it. Show's over, folks.
Cut that out.
We're never going to beat that now, so
we'll keep it in.
Moving swiftly on, Dan.
Yeah, moving swiftly on. Just going back to obviously Louis talking about the FA Cup fever. I think the last round, we were it was a welcome distraction for Sutton, being in the cup, and the league form wasn't great. Now they're absolutely flying in the league. This might not be such a welcome distraction, so we'll see how it goes. But we'll get into the FA Cup further down the line. First up, we've got National League games. There's 7 games this weekend, and then there's one on Wednesday. So we're going to preview 8, give our predictions. First up is the early game on Saturday, which is Morecambe Boston. Craig, what do you think is going to happen in this one, mate?
Yeah, so I think I'm going to put this in the category of a must-win for Morecambe and Ash Singh Jahal. I think he's under real pressure. Maybe not from the boardroom. Obviously, we don't know what goes on there. But after losing to Braintree the other day, the fans have really turned on him again. He had a little bit of respite when they beat Brackley and picked up a point at Yeovil. You can decide yourself whether that's a good result with the situation Yeovil were in at that stage. But the defeat at Braintree, and they were pretty poor there, so they're under a lot of pressure, and he needs to get a result here. Boston are probably the team that Morecambe would want to face. They're one of them teams that haven't been putting up too many trees lately. Their last win, I believe, was the 25th of October. They didn't win in the league in November. So they'll be looking to have a lot more positive December than they did November. But I am going to go on this one for a home win, 2-1 to Morecambe.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it there, and obviously, wasn't that long ago Morecambe played Boston in the league, wasn't it? Morecambe went to Boston and won, was it 4-0? Because I'm sure we spoke about it on here, and I said I'd heard a fan in the Boston crowd shouting, "We're the ones playing in yellow," because they couldn't string 2 passes together. I'm going to disappoint Craig here, and I've got 2-1 Morecambe as well. I think it's the point of no return for Ash. I think he needs to start winning and quickly, and the form Boston's in is probably the perfect time to play them. I've just got Boston's form up here. Lost 4, drawn 1 of the last 5 games. Like Craig said, the last win was the 25th of October at Tamworth. So not great form. We've had Graham on the pod, so I apologise in advance, Graham, but Morecambe to win this one for me. 2-1. Louis, what are you expecting from this one, mate?
I think this could be quite a nervy game. I think, as Craig said, it's a must-win for Morecambe, but I think it's a must-not-lose for Boston as well. I think Morecambe has sort of switched it around recently as well. They were obviously scoring a lot of goals and conceding a lot of goals previously. They seem to have shut up shop slightly as well. They've conceded 1 goal in 3 games now, but then they've only scored 6 in their last 5. So yeah, there's a bit of change there. But Boston haven't kept a clean sheet in 11 games. So I think will be another game where Boston don't keep a clean sheet, but I think they get a point. I'm going 1-1 in this game.
Very good. And Mark?
Well, it's a bit hard to say, really, isn't it? I mean, you've got Morecambe, who seem to win 1 game a month, and Boston, who would love to win one game a month. It's how everybody's prepared for it. I mean, Morecambe will say, yes, we did beat them 4-0, but at their place. And I mean, really, for all the comment that was made that they were going to be the best footballing side in England by the end of I think it was last month, wasn't it? The end of October. My goodness gracious me! Well, where is it? Where is it? And I think Boston will capitalise on that. Boston to win 2-1.
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned that actually, because I forgot about that comment about just at the end of
I
October.
haven't.
Well,
I
we're
can tell
past.
you who hasn't. The Morecambe fans, they have not.
Yeah.
That comment.
Oh, they're going spare at him. But how
To be
long can an experiment last, though? I mean, they're calling it an experiment. The man is a manager, and it's got to be where, it's a results game. And if they don't wake up and realise that, then they'll be saying, hello, National League North. That's the way they're hurtling towards it.
Yeah, I think everyone's mentioned it there, but it does seem like it's a must-win for Morecambe, and I just think they might just get over the line. So next up, we've got Aldershot against Altrincham. Aldershot, another team that's banging trouble. I'll go first on this one because I've done a TikTok on it, previewing the game. You look at form. Aldershot have lost the last 8 in a row. Altrincham have won 4, drawn 1 of the last 5, so they're absolutely flying. Everything points to a Altrincham win. I've just got a funny feeling that John Coleman is kind of at the point now where Aldershot are going to have to start winning, because them and Truro are just getting further and further adrift down the bottom of the table. They're going to have to start picking up results. So I've actually gone against my gut and I've gone 2-1 Aldershot. I just think John Coleman is long in the tooth, he's experienced, he knows he has to start picking up results. And I think this could be the day that maybe the tide turns for them. Louis, what have you got for this one, mate?
Yeah, the problem I feel with Aldershot is at the beginning of the season, obviously we called them value for money, where they were scoring goals, but they were conceding them. And they're conceding them now. They've conceded 11 in the last 4, but I just don't see where the goals come from them. I do have them to get 1 in this game, but I think Altrincham do beat them 2-1. I think they're on real good form at the moment, and they'll be on a high from their game against Scunthorpe, where they got those 2 late goals. So yeah, 2-1 Altrincham for me.
I've got a feeling I may be on my own with this one. Mark, what have you got for this one, mate?
Well, I'm going to agree with Louis. I mean, Neil Gibson has done an incredible job galvanising Altrincham, as it pains me to say it, but facts are facts. I mean, they've got if they can keep Oliver Crankshaw fit and in form, then he can be one of the best wingers in the league, and I think he'll be the difference in a 2-1 win for Altrincham.
Yeah, and Craig, what are you expecting from this one, mate?
Yeah, so this one on opening day was a bit of a classic. It definitely made our deep dive, and it was 3-2 to Altrincham. As you said, Aldershot, Louis, are still conceding a lot of goals. They're not scoring as many. I do think they're going to find the net twice in this one, and I'm going to go 2-2.
I've got a nice variety of results there then. But like I say, I think everything points to Altrincham winning, given the form and stuff. But you know what football's like, anything can happen. Next up, we've got Halifax Braintree. Craig, come to you first, mate. Your team, what are you expecting from this one?
Yeah, so Braintree are in fairly good form. Beat Truro, drew with Scunthorpe, won in the National League Cup against Wolves, and then beat Morecambe as well. And we've obviously won the earlier head-to-head between the two sides 3-0 as well, when Halifax were on their dreadful form earlier in the season with their away start to the season, shall we call it, playing plenty of away games. I'm really on the fence about this one. I think we'll be able to keep up our good form, yes, but not to the levels of getting 3 points. I think this is going to be one where Braintree take the lead and then Halifax peg them back. I'm going to go 1-1.
Yeah, Mark, what are you expecting from this one, mate?
Oh boy, I've agreed with Louis on one result. I'm now going to agree with Craig on the 1-1, because I think with Braintree picking up useful points, they're more used to them than who they're playing at the moment, and they've been doing that, as you say. Not many teams can go to Scunthorpe and come away with a point, and I think they'll just do the same at Halifax. But I'll go the other way round. Halifax to take the lead and then Braintree to equalise.
Yeah,
1-1.
I mean, you talk obviously about Braintree's form. Halifax's form's dropped off a cliff as of late. I don't want to steal the Statman's stats if he's got them, so I'm going to come to Louis first before I spoil it for him. Louis, what are you expecting from this one?
Yeah, the return fixture from this was on the opening day when Craig was giving it big ones about Braintree being top of the league after a 3-0 win, was it?
That's
Yeah.
I
absolutely
think
correct.
the momentum is a crucial thing in football, and as you say, Halifax haven't got it at the moment. One win in the last 8 games, and Braintree obviously picking up results. I have gone for a 1-1 draw as well, so the hat trick on that one. Don't know whether we're going full house, Dan.
We are going full house, lads. 1-1. I had it down the other day when I was doing my predictions. I just think Halifax has struggled. Like the one win that they did get was when Solihull Moors went down to 10 men as well. So it was kind of, I don't think it was a 3-0 game. Just from the bits I've seen of it, obviously 3-0's 3-0, but I don't think it was that kind of comfortable result that it looked. And I think Braintree have picked up. And like we've mentioned with Craig on here, Braintree can turn it on and get results like at Scunthorpe and things like that. So if, like I say, if I'm ever in doubt, I'll always sit on that fence. So I'll stay
the
there.
thing for me on Braintree, just going back while we've got a little bit of time as well, is the strength in depth we've had up front now, which is mad considering at the start of the season, Akinde was getting kind of used all the time. He's only played probably no more than half an hour in any of the games in the last 3 or 4. He's only played 15, 20 minutes or a full half hour. So he's very fresh, but it seems to be him and Emmanuel Thomas always come on within 5-10 minutes of each other. Works and Kamara seem to be starting up front. And we're almost starting with 2 Jermaine Defoes before going for 2 Peter Crouches kind of thing. And it seems to work really well. Although, granted, Akinde and Emmanuel Thomas got a bit more stature about them than Peter Crouch ever had. But it seems to be really working, and it's giving defenders something to think about. They've got that quick, nippy, agile player. And then as they're getting tired from chasing him, the bigger men come on and knock them around a bit. And it seems to have worked really, really well. And that's not even mentioning the likes of Lewis Walker and Tom Blackwell, who have also been coming off the bench recently as well. So a little bit of depth. So that's why maybe it wouldn't surprise me if we actually went Mark's way, went behind, and then the subs make an impact again. But it'd be interesting if he does ever decide to go 1 little and 1 large, because at the minute he goes 2 little and then 2 large. Although Emmanuel Thomas does drop into midfield a little bit more than any of the others do.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you talked about it there with strikers and stuff. It's a good trouble to have, isn't it? It's a good problem to have for the manager with all them options, especially like you said at the start of the season. I know when Braintree came up here, Akinde was a really isolated figure. He had no support whatsoever, and you do kind of feel sorry for them like that. So it's nice that you've got them options now. Next up, we've got Forest Green against Solihull Moors. I'll go first on this one just because obviously it doesn't look like I'm just copying people's results. I've got Forest Green 3, Solihull 1 in this one. I think Forest Green are in grand form. We've talked about it, didn't we, previously? They recovered from that defeat at Carlisle. Obviously, we were wondering how they were going to react. Unbeaten since then. Solihull Moors, I think they've obviously been in good form, but I think I'd fancy them more at home than away from home. And Forest Green's relentless approach, especially in attack, and we talk about depth as well. The people they've got coming off the bench as well. I just think they'll have too much for Solihull here. Louis, what have you got for this one, mate?
Funnily enough, I've got exactly the same as you. I've got 3-1 Forest Green. I think they'll just have too much for Solihull. Both teams have scored 10 in their last 5 games. So I think there will be goals in this one. But as you say, I think the quality that Forest Green have got, the strength and depth that they've got, the fact that it is at Forest Green and not at Solihull, and Forest Green absolutely battered Solihull on the opening day and got a 2-2 draw. So I think they'll batter them this time and get the 3 points.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Mark, what have you got for this one, mate?
I'm going to go 2-0 Forest Green. Chris Millington's doing a great job at Solihull. I mean, he's picked them up. I mean, well, they couldn't get any worse after serving under Matt Taylor, let's be honest. But he has picked them up, but some results really haven't gone the way. And Forest Green will want to stay in touch with the top. I mean, it's amazing that they can be top, and then he went down to 4th in the space of 1 game. But yeah, I see it being pretty comfortable for for the Forest Greeners. And yeah, 2-0.
Craig, what's your predictions for this one, mate?
Yeah, so the return fixture gave us a bit of a classic Solihull moves, going down to 10 men quite early, but managing to get a 2-2 draw. And that's probably the highlight of Matt Taylor's reign this season. There was that point on the opening day. Millington has obviously made them a lot better, but Forest Green and their numerous signings have really started to gel together in the last couple of weeks. So I think there'd be a stretch too far for Solihull. I'm not going to go for as many goals as you because I think Solihull will keep it fairly tight. I'm going to go 2-1 to Forest Green.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty unanimous in a Forest Green win there. It'll just be a matter of what the result will be. Next up, we've got Hartlepool against Yeovil. Mark, what have you got for this one, mate?
Well, Billy Rowley this will be a great test for Billy Rowley because he will be coming up against Nicky Featherstone, a man who will probably want that Hartlepool job very, very much. But Billy Rowley's got to prove himself in this league so early as well. So there's only one route to go down here. 2-2.
No, 2-2. Louis, what have you got for this one, mate?
Yeah, as you say, I think Billy Rowley's got a big job on his hands. I watched his post-match from the last game, and he said he's living out of one suitcase in a hotel currently. So hopefully he's settled in a bit more since then. Be a tough fixture. Hartlepool in really good form, but again, they don't score many, don't concede many. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw in this one.
Yeah, similar reasoning to you, Louis. I think Hartlepool don't score many, don't concede many, but I think they will just get over the line given the form they're in. Just keep that rolling on. But I've got 1-0 Hartlepool. Yeovil did get a win, obviously last time out, but before then they were in dire form, dropping down the table. Be interesting to see how they react. Obviously, new manager, just getting that first win under him as well. But Hartlepool just seem to be flying at the moment, and they're very tight at the back. So, like I say, 1-0. Craig, what have you got for this one, mate?
Yeah, it'll be interesting for the manager just how he adapts to the long journeys of the National League as well. Obviously, he's been in a regionalised division. This is going to be a bit of a shock to him, and the preparations are going to be very different to what he's been used to. So it's very much a steep learning curve for him as well. And he's going to probably one of the informed teams in the league. So I'm going to back the informed team here, and I'm going to go 2-1 to Hartlepool.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I've got Hartlepool as well, but like I said, I think it'd be interesting with the new manager at Yeovil to see how they react to that win, see if they can push on from there, because they've been notorious this season, haven't they, for winning a couple, losing a couple, and just up and down. So next up, we've got probably what I would say is the game of the day, Rochdale Southend. I think this could be a good game. Two good sides, obviously top of the league, Rochdale. Be remiss of me not to mention that they are top of the league, given some of the comments.
1,000 times, and we don't have to mention it again.
So yeah, Mark, I'll come to you first. What have you got for this one?
Well, I believe I've made a video for TikTok, isn't it? TikTok, bloody app. But no, I went for 2-1 Rochdale. You know, yes, you're top of the league. You don't need to remind us of that, please. But it's your momentum that's keeping them there. I mean, I was going to wonder how they were going to survive defensively without Oliver Watmouth when he got injured. But Nathan Broom has come in and has brushed away any doubters, shall we say. If you can be cheesy, Louis, so can I. But yeah, I mean, I've said I can't see Rochdale losing any momentum at the moment because Southend, I don't know they seem to have capitulated a little bit, and it's hard to know which Southend will turn up, but it's going to be 2-1 to Rochdale on Saturday because I said so on that TikTok thing.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about Southend. The goals have dried up a little bit in certain games for them, and I think we spoke recently, and someone said that they're going to maybe look in the market for strikers, that type of thing. So I do think they may struggle away at Rochdale. Rochdale is solid at the back, like Mark mentioned. So I've got 2-0 Rochdale in this one. Southend are just that team we mentioned where they're going to probably be in that final playoff place in that area. They've struggled against the top sides. So that's my reasoning. Craig, what have you got for this one?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for a Rochdale win again. Just a note to the Rochdale fans, although they're not mentioned too often, I did make a comment in the last pod that defences win you championships, and that's what they've got at the moment, is a very solid defence. They do not concede many goals at all. For Southend, their form against the top 6-7 teams has been awful. I don't think they've actually beaten a team in and around them yet this season. They're taking points off everyone else, which is good. But the reason they're slightly cut adrift is because of their form against the other teams. And for me, I don't see it getting better. I don't see this being a classic, though. I'm going 1-0 Rochdale.
Agreed, mate. Agreed. Louis?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because it's the rearranged from week fixtures a few weeks ago when it was postponed because of Rochdale's pitch. Yeah, as you've said, their defence is incredibly solid. I think they've got the best defence in the league. Southend have obviously got their goal scoring problems. I think we mentioned Andy Dallas. I think he pulled up with a hamstring in the last game. Slavi Spazov is obviously on good form. He's got 2 in 3. But yeah, I can't see anything other than a Rochdale win here. I've gone 2-0 Rochdale.
Yeah, I agree, mate. And then the late kick-off on Saturday is Scunthorpe against Tamworth. Craig, what have you got for this one, mate?
This was probably my most one I've been indecisive about because Scunthorpe are in that little bit of a dip right now. And with Tamworth, you know they're going to be probably the hardest working side in the league. And it's probably one of the worst teams for Scunthorpe to come against when they're in this bit of form. You want an easier game as such, although we can argue there isn't any in the National League these days. But Tamworth will just run and toss balls into your box, just make it a very, very hard day for you. And that is why I've plunked myself firmly on the fence with a 1-1 draw on this one.
Yeah, I agree. I was indecisive on this one as well. So you know where I'm heading with this, Craig. When I can't decide, I'm going Desmond. I'm going 2-2 in this one. I think I was impressed with Tamworth when they came up here at the weekend and played Carlisle. They have the game plan. They know what they're doing. Jazz had the great game in goal, but just in terms of they all know the jobs. They're all well organised. They're not shy of, if they want to run the clock down, waste a bit of time, they'll do all the dark art stuff as well. So I think Scunthorpe, it's probably one of the worst games they could have got. I think they'd probably rather be playing a team that will come at them so they can kind of hit them on the break type thing. So I think they'll struggle here. So, like I say, 2-2 for me. Mark?
It's one of the improbable results of the weekend, really. I mean, Scunthorpe need to get firing on all cylinders again. And the one place where that doesn't happen very often is Tamworth. And I'm going to go with Craig on the scoreline here. 1-1. If they can get some sort of scoring momentum going, Scunthorpe, it may be different. But at the moment, you just can't see it. And for the wealth of talent that they've got, it's very unusual. But you're coming up against a team like Tamworth, really well organised. You never know what you're going to get from them either. It could be slick passing, or it could be the lethal weapon, Tom Tonks, just belting those balls in from the throw-in. And it's going to be a mystery game, but it's going to be a 1-1.
Louis, what have you got for this one, mate?
Yeah, we've obviously mentioned momentum, and I think Scunthorpe haven't got any of that at the moment. There's no win in 3 games in the league for them. They've got a few injury issues as well. I don't know whether any of their players are back, but Whitehall and Roberts missed the game at Altrincham the other day, and I think that takes the stuffing out of Scunthorpe that game. Tamworth, some surprisingly better away from home this season than they have been at home. Obviously 1-2-1 at Boreham Wood a couple of weeks ago, and I've gone for the same scoreline again. I think Tamworth win it 2-1.
Yeah, and obviously it's worth noting with Scunthorpe as well. I did mention it on the previous pod, but obviously, they've started so well. I think maybe they're just kind of, leveling off now and finding where they are. I think they maybe just overachieved a little bit at the start of the season. They've maybe been a victim of their own success. So maybe the fan base is expecting them to be challenging for titles when, if you'd offered them that last playoff place at the start of the season, they would have snatched your hand off, wouldn't they? So again, it's not time to panic for Scunthorpe or anything. I think they're just kind of finding where they belong in the table at the moment. And then last game in the league is Wednesday, which is Carlisle against Woking. I'll go first on this one. I think I've spoke about Carlisle numerous times in recent weeks about performances, and we just seem to be just getting over the line. We're not really playing that well. Again, I know it's an art, not playing well and getting results, but at some point you feel like you're going to come unstuck. And Woking are in great form. Neil Ardley was unlucky to miss out on our Manager of the Month nominations, given they were unbeaten in November. So I think this will be a tough game, but I've got 1-0 Carlisle. I think again we maybe get over the line, just edge it. But the dry toast is no longer dry toast, Mark. What have you got for this one, mate?
I'm going to go draw. Here. I mean, Carlisle, they'll want to pick up 3 points, but can you try too hard in trying to get 3 points against a team who are bang on form? I mean, you just don't go from dry toast to moist toast to crispy toast if you haven't had something about you. And I think Carlisle could be surprised by my little crispy friends. But I'm going to go 1-1.
Louis, what have you got for this one, mate?
Yeah, as Mark said, I mean, both teams are on really good form. I think this will be a really close game. I just think with the FA Cup game that Carlisle have got, it's obviously the late kick-off on Sunday, travelling to Blackpool, which obviously we'll touch on a bit later. I think Woking win this 1-0. I just have a feeling that this is the night where people sort of take notice of Woking. They get that bit closer to the playoffs. So yeah, 1-0 Woking. Sorry, Dan.
No, it's all right, mate. I hope you're well wrong, but no, I appreciate it. I appreciate the apology. Craig, what have you got for this one, mate?
Yeah, as Louis said, this is a bit of a unique one out of these predictions because Carlisle have a game before this one, whereas everyone else, it's their next game. And Woking will have plenty of time to prepare for this one. And Carlisle have got a tough fixture that could easily go to full length in the FA Cup as well. But I am going to back them on their form, their momentum, being the home side here. I think it's going to be a struggle for Carlisle, and I think that has been often a struggle for them. But as you said, they've found a way over the line. I'm going to go 2-1 Carlisle with a late goal from a defender.
Yeah. Morgan Feeney, late winner. Obviously, it's just worth mentioning you saying there about the cup game. The one thing I would say is Carlisle do have the depth. So if there is an issue, with playing, if they do go extra time or whatever, if Georgie Kelly can't play, then Luke Armstrong can come in. If Luamba doesn't play, Adjaboy plays. There is depth there. So I think if it does go the distance on Sunday, which again we'll come to that in a little while, whether we think it will or it won't, I think Carlisle are equipped to deal with that if it does happen. But I do think that will be a tight game.
It'll be interesting what he does with Linney because he started on the bench in the last FA Cup game, didn't he? So it shows maybe where his priorities is.
Yeah, I remember saying to you lads, obviously, when the game was going on with the Reading game and Linney was on the bench, and I'm like, it's just that thing of if a good cup run's ideal, but if our main priority this year is to get out of the National League, nothing else really matters apart from that. And I'll stand by that, even if we drop down the table and things like that. The main target was promotion this year. If they have a good cup run, great, but it's not the be all end all. So next up, we've got our FA Cup shock or no shocks. Again, some of them maybe aren't shocks, so just tell me who you think's going to win, lads. Some of them aren't shocks. So first up, it's all the non-league game, all the non-league teams. So we've got Chelmsford against Weston-super-Mare. We sat down with Angelo Harrop, the Chelmsford manager. That podcast will be out soon, so head over and give that a watch. He covered this game really well. The cup run, his managerial career, season so far, everything. So head over and watch that when you get a chance. What do we think for this one, lads? Chelmsford or Weston-super-Mare? Louis, what do you think, mate?
I think this is just going to be one of those games where both sides desperate to get to the third round. It's going to be really tight. I looked at their previous head-to-heads, and in the last 17 matches, they've had 6 wins each and 5 draws. I think this will be a 6th draw. I think this goes to extra time, and I think it goes to penalties, and then I think it's a flip of the coin as to who goes through.
You've got to give me one. You've got to give us one.
I'll back the home side. I'll back Chelmsford.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Chelmsford on pens as well, to be honest. Again, I think just, I don't know, when you're not sure, especially in the cup, go for the home advantage. And Western-super-Mare, we spoke to Angelo and we mentioned about obviously Western-super-Mare if they were at home with given their home form. So I think home form is massive. Craig?
Yeah, I think the front four of Chelmsford's really exciting, and they were fantastic in the first round against Braintree. And I think that experience of the likes of Lyle Taylor in a game which means so much to both teams will be enough. I reckon he'll score and Chelmsford will win.
Mark, what are you thinking, mate?
Sorry I missed you, Angelo, but you're going through in 90 minutes. Chelmsford win.
Nice. Next up, we've got Cheltenham versus Buxton. Craig, what have you got for this one, mate?
Yeah, unfortunately for Buxton, I'm going for a fairly routine home win here for Cheltenham.
Mark?
That 25-minute bus ride from Mac. We'll see. We'll see you Boxing Day, Buxton, but Cheltenham are going to go through.
Louis?
But yeah, Buxton obviously 1 win in 6 since the first round, but that winner came away to top of the League 5. I have a feeling Buxton go through. I think their attention has been on this since the draw, and Cheltenham are obviously on poor form at the moment. So yeah, I'm going Buxton.
Yeah, I've got a shock here as well, actually. I've gone Buxton as well, but it wouldn't surprise me. Extra time, potentially. A bit of a scrappy goal, late winner type thing. But yeah, I think Cheltenham, obviously, they were under Steve Cottrell came in. They were on a good run. It's kind of dropped off a little bit. I think their focus is more on the league anyways. So I've got Buxton as well. Next up, we've got Grimsby against Wealdstone. Mark, what have you got for this one, mate?
Oh, a bit of a tough one here. I mean, Grimsby will be going on about the fact, well, still going on about the fact they beat Manchester United in the League Cup. I'm going to get the feeling Wealdstone are going to be going on about beating Grimsby. I can see a shock here.
Yeah. Craig, what are you expecting from this one?
Yeah, Grimsby are a team that's been used to cup upsets this season, as Mark said. So I think they'll be fully switched on for this one. So I'm going to go no shock, Grimsby to win.
Yeah, I think Grimsby just have too much for Wealdstone in this one, so I've got no shock for this one. Louis?
Funnily enough, Wealdstone obviously won at Grimsby last year in the first round, and I think they've become a bogey side. I think Wealdstone go through, but I think it'll be after extra time.
Next up, we've got obviously what's given Louis the FA Cup fever. Sutton versus Shrewsbury. We'll come to you first, mate. I think I know what you're going to say, but let me know anyways.
No, I'm excited for this one. I think it should be a good game. Shrewsbury are on pretty poor form at the moment. Threw away a 3-1 lead at home to Gillingham on Saturday. And we're obviously absolutely flying, as we've spoken about on previous podcasts. I'm fairly confident with this one being at home, being on the form we're in. I think we make it through. I think there's a shock on the cards.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think, like I said, the form that you guys are in, you're riding high, you're doing well. Obviously, new manager as well. Everything looking rosy. Shrewsbury, the exact opposite, really. I don't even think it's a shock, to be honest. I mean, technically it is, but I don't think it is. Mark?
Aggie, Aggie, Aggie! Oi, oi, oi! See you, Shrewsbury, Sutton to win.
Craig?
Yeah, it's momentum, isn't it, versus the perfect cup distraction for Shrewsbury. It might come at the right time just to distract them. And I'm unfortunately for Louis, I'm gonna go on the opposite way to all of you guys. I'm gonna go that the cup distraction's a good thing for Shrewsbury, and I'm gonna back them to win this one.
Yeah, next up, we've got Slough against Macclesfield.
Oh, sweet
Mark?
child of mine.
Very much like I did to Louis. I think I know where you're going to go with this, but let us know anyways.
Yep. We've not been playing particularly scintillating at the moment, but yeah, Matt to go through to the third round. Just don't drag it out, boys.
Craig?
I feel like I'm just going to really annoy you all today because I'm going to go the opposite way. I think when it's two teams at this level, Slough not in great form, but they seem to know when to turn it on for the magic of the FA Cup this season. I'm going to go for the home win just because home advantage can be crucial.
Yeah, I'm with Craig on this. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't. I said it for the Chelmsford game. I think if similar levels, you've got to go with the home advantage. But I do think it could be maybe extra time, bit prolonged for you, Mark. Unfortunately, so I've got Slough winning, but it'll be close. Louis.
Yeah, similar to the first game we spoke about. I think it would be a tight game. Both sides desperate not to lose the game. I think it goes to extra time. I think it goes to penalties, and I'll give Macclesfield the win on penalties.
There we go. Well, see what I've got to work with, viewers. See what I've got to work with, and for all you non-viewers as well. God, dear me, how have we lasted so long?
We've had a good run, lads. We've had a good run.
Yeah. You should see what we say off the camera. Good God.
Next up, we've got Boreham Wood against Newport. Now, this is similar to the Sutton one for me, where on paper, technically, it's a team in the league below playing the team in the league above, but I don't see anything other than a Boreham Wood win here, to be honest. Craig?
Yeah, Boreham Wood into the third round. I believe they made the fifth round not that long ago and played Everton. So it'll be interesting to see who they get in the next round because I think their name's going to be in the hat.
Yeah. Mark?
Yeah, I'm Boreham Wood all the way. I think, and they've got some potential Football League credentials if they keep on this run. They want to show them off, and they will. Boreham Wood to go through.
Louis, full house on that one?
Yeah, full house. Young hipster coach in charge of Newport with Christian Fuchs. No clean sheet, 6 for them. I think this is a routine home on the telly.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, we've got Gateshead against Walsall. Me and Louis briefly spoke about this earlier. Louis, I'll come to you first, mate. What are you expecting in this one?
I'll be very surprised if this is anything other than a thumping win for Walsall. 19 goals conceded in the last 6 defeats for Gateshead. It's just, rotten times for them. A thumping from Walsall.
Yeah, I agree. Me and Louis spoke about this earlier, and I was like, if Gateshead were travelling to Walsall, might be a totally different game. But just what Gateshead at home, I just can't see them getting results at the moment. Mark?
Yeah, story Gateshead, but I get the feeling it's going to be a very, very long afternoon and Walsall will get a big result.
Craig?
Yeah, comfortable away win. Nothing more to add than what you guys have said.
Yeah, and then next up is the late game on Sunday, Blackpool against Carlisle. Looking forward to this one, actually. I think could be quite a good game. Blackpool aren't in great form. I was doing a bit of research earlier, looking that they're not in the best of form. They're in the relegation places in League One. Obviously, in the previous round, Carlisle came from 2-0 down to beat Reading, also strugglers in League One. So there's a lot of similarities there. Going to be a big following going to Blackpool. It's going to be freezing cold December in Blackpool, but they were going in numbers, so that'll be great. I'm going shock with Carlisle winning, but I think it'll be potentially extra time again, like the Reading game. It'll be interesting, like Craig mentioned about lineups. Will Linney start? Will Con Clark start? Is the priority of the league, which I think it probably is. So see how Carlisle line up, but I've got Carlisle just edging it after extra time. Craig?
Oh, I've backed Louis' team to lose. I've backed Mark's team to lose. I might as well make it a full house. I'm not bitter because we're already out, honest. But I think the League One team will eventually show their quality, but it may take extra time for Blackpool to win this one.
Louis?
Yeah, adding a bit more to your comment about Blackpool's poor form. No clean sheet and 6 in all comps for them. I did the tallying up. If you take out last night's EFL Trophy game for them, they've faced 83 attempts on goal in their last 5 games. I think this could be a cracking game, but I do think, against what I've said, I think Blackpool go through in extra time.
Mark?
I wouldn't worry too much, Dan. If Carlisle unleash the Linney, they'll just pick at Blackpool's bones at the moment. Blackpool just aren't good enough in the league. they'll want to get something, but I smell an upset on the cards. Carlisle to go through in 90 minutes.
I wish I had your confidence, Mark. I should be happy that half of us have went for it, but the fact that the two that are top of the predictions league have gone for us to lose, and the two that are bottom have gone for us to win, doesn't fill me full of confidence. I'm not going to lie. So we'll wait and see what happens.
We have a kamikaze podcast. Here we go. What more can I say?
I mean, to be fair, maybe me and Mark's predictions are better in the cup. That's why we're not doing so well in the league ones. Maybe.
I like your thinking. It's complete rubbish, but I like your thinking.
I'll always try and make an excuse for my rubbish predictions. And then last up, Monday night, again, I think the draw's being done at their ground. Brackley against Burton. Obviously, Brackley sprung an upset in the previous round. Penalty shootout. Burton, again, not flying too high, not pulling up many trees. Mark, what have you got for this one?
It'll be a tough one. Brackley are no mugs at home, but Burton should get a narrow win. But I'm going to go for extra time on that one.
Louis?
Yeah, it's back-to-back defeats for Burton, but I think Gary Bowyer, who's in charge, is an experienced head. He knows what he's doing. I think Burton do go through on this one, so no shot.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned him there. Just quickly, I'll plug our brother podcast, League One Lowdowns. Just had a sit-down interview with Gary Bowyer. So if you want to head over, listen to him, obviously talking everything Burton Albion in his career, head over and watch that. But after you finish watching this, and then Craig, what have you got for this one?
Yeah, no shock for me on this one. Brackley's form has been poor since the FA Cup first round. Obviously, the only positive in there was beating Braintree. But since then, it's been even worse for them. They've really struggled, and I can see Burton Albion winning this one. And maybe that being a good thing for Brackley's season, because the distraction of the FA Cup maybe has blighted their league form quite significantly.
I agree that they've been suckered into a bit of a relegation scrap now when we were praising them earlier on in the season about how well they were doing, especially at home. So I've got Burton winning this as well, probably in 90 minutes. Brackley might be able to focus on the league, like Craig said. But that's it for our prediction show. We hope you've enjoyed it. Obviously, we've been a bit more in-depth instead of just firing results at you. Given our reasonings, whether you like them or you don't, at least we gave you them. Thanks to Craig, Louis and Mark, as always, for joining us. And obviously, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're nearly at 700 subscribers. Our target was 750 for the end of the year. So if you could do that, we'd greatly appreciate that. And don't forget to vote for us and Callum on the Non-League Bible Awards as well. If you could head over to our social media, all the links are there to do that as well. But thanks, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you soon.